Welcome to the Retro Blood.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Retro Blood. As we continue this month of love, of passion, of vacationing in the spiritual land to find your one true Italian honey. Because we are talking our third annual 1980s/1's very special 1990s Vampire Month. That's right. Some bloodsuckers, some romanters, some I will cross oceans and seas for you, spiritual creatures coming there to suck some blood, have a cool mullet, and spike
that was awesome.
And spike some people on some gates. All right? Because if you all like Italian dudes who will travel and vacation in Venice just to make a movie, all right? If y'all like Donald Pleasant, who has returned to the Retro Blood to be the best character on this film, a crazy priest. If y'all like our boy Klaus with his mullet, Nosferatu hair, his two little teeth in his pilgrim shoes, grabbing on some bush, some titties, and telling girls he doesn't know time and space and shit because he's a vampire, then this is a review for you, because the Retro Blood is talking all about Nosferatu/Vampire in Venice.
Yeah.
J.H. Alison, James Kline, what's happening, Alison? How was your Venice trip?
Man, it was good, man. I really enjoyed my time in Venice. I really enjoyed this movie, actually. I thought it was great.
I don't know, man. This one was, I don't know if it was doing it for me. Like, I like the end, like when it started picking up, him like getting those girls and whatever. That was cool, but like getting up to there was a little tough. Like at first, I really didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I kind of agreed with that. Like, it's kind of tough at the start of the movie, but I don't know. Like, considering everything they had to go through to get it made, I mean, like the restraints they were under, what ended up happening with that, I feel like the movie was good for what it was, and I think that that mullet, I'm pretty sure that that's Klaus's actual hair. I don't think that was made for the movie. I'm pretty sure that's how he actually looked.
It was in his contract to keep it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And all the scenes with him running around were hilarious. Like, just when he was like running and chasing someone, it was fantastic.
You know what it reminded me of all the scenes where he would just be on the boat staring. He'd be down in Venice walking.
Yeah.
You ever seen that Pablo Escobar meme?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where he's like sitting around waiting for shit to go down. Bro, I feel like you could do the exact same meme with this movie. Because, boy, this guy was just having a good old time and vacationing in Venice. Once he wakes up from his slumber.
Apparently, those are the scenes that Klaus Kinski directed himself.
Oh, yeah? You don't say.
Yeah, and according to Luigi Cozzi, who worked on this, he didn't direct it, but he worked on it. They shot 10 hours of that.
Yeah, I bet they did.
Of him just wandering around Venice and riding on gondolas and shit like that. It's hilarious.
He's like, brother, get my good angle. All right. The ladies need to see me walking in the streets. All right. So, but yeah, this was the history behind it is actually pretty fascinating. And it's one of those, Italian deals where like we have to make a sequel, even though nobody ever asked for the sequel, but we're going to make it anyway.
Yeah, nobody asked for this, but they did the best they could. It has a crazy story though.
Bro, I could not believe though, like this guy is a national treasure, man. This Donald Pleasance. You know what I mean? Okay, we haven't seen him be a priest since we did Prince of Darkness, which was ages ago here. You guys can check it out on Retro Blood. You probably can only get Pine on the Podbean.
Yeah, that was early.
But that he did a great job being a priest. He was out of his mind in this fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're gonna get into it, but when he was all like, the girls coming in there to do the little spiritual thing. You know what I mean? So she was trying to like do what do you call that? It's kind of like it's not a ritual, but it's like, trying to like summon the dead
like,
to ask him a question.
Yeah, I called it a seance, but I don't know if that's accurate. Yeah.
It's kind of like that. He just, like, they're about to do it, right? He just opens the door, just walks in like, this is forbidden. The church. Like, I thought he was like, I'm going to shoot you 6 times, bitch. Get out of here. The church.
I know. Like, I was waiting for him to shoot Dracula 6 times.
No.
Yeah, like Donald Pleasance, like I haven't really seen honestly that many movies with him in it, but he's a crazy person in all of the
every movie, man.
Yeah.
But, well, in that scene where he was like eating the pie or whatever when they were saying everything. So they're like explaining everything all serious, like, yeah, he's because Dracula's been out here forever, and he's just eating the pie like the church don't agree with anything you're saying, brother.
I'm just gonna eat. I'm gonna sit here and eat my pie. Fucking great.
Oh my god,
fucking great.
I literally, like, I don't think I was supposed to, but I was laughing out loud on every scene he had. It was just cracking me up, like the way he would walk and the way he would be. It's just so funny. I was priest, man. I couldn't help it. It was cracking me up. But we'll get all into it. But like every Retro Blood, this one, no different. The Retro Blood that's airing after Valentine's Day. Hope you all had a great Valentine's Day. Imagine showing your date this movie. How would that go over? You think?
Oh, I mean,
she'd be like, she'd be like, we would be like less of a man because we're not going to measure up to that Klaus brother.
I know it was.
That's a date.
I don't know how well it would go over, but no, you don't want to take your date to that.
She's like,
Klaus was he was pretty awesome.
How come you're not wearing them pilgrim shoes and grabbing me by the, you know what? All right. I was like, I don't know, man. It's in the movie.
Yeah, I can't believe you went there, but yeah, he basically was dressed like a pilgrim, like Dracula dressed like a pilgrim, and that's like I thought that was really crazy. Plus, it takes place in the future.
Yeah, future
of their time.
1995. But I mean, I don't know, man. This is a strange one. Like, I don't know, like if this is like a date kind of movie.
Yeah.
Oh. But anyway, we'll talk about it. So
I would say it's definitely not a date kind of movie.
Come on now. Should be like, that's too much man, that Klaus guy. All right. All right. So this movie came out in Venice. Well, I have no idea when this made the shores to the United States. Probably like in fucking bootleg central. Who knows? All right. They came out September 8th, 1988. I believe. All right. Yeah. And it premiered at the Venice Film Festival. Sorry, it was September 9th. Ooh, my bad.
September 9th, yes.
Yeah, 1988 Venice Film Festival. That's the date that we found on here. So I'll go first because I know you got a cool little band. I don't think we've talked about them too much before. But my thing is, it's a sad thing, but it's also talking about a man's career. Okay. So we talked maybe a little bit about this person before, but he's probably more known for his like earlier like 50s to about 80, maybe like early 80s run. All right.
Right. Yeah.
All right. And that is going to be one Leroy McGuirk. Okay. Have you ever heard of Leroy McGuirk before?
I don't think so. I would have normally thought you made that up, but okay. No. I'm not familiar with this guy.
All right, so I'll tell you about him then. Maybe everybody that doesn't really know too much about him. So he was actually So he was actually known for a couple things. Okay. Yeah. The first thing he was known for was being the NWA junior heavyweight champion.
Okay.
For pretty much had the longest title reign for that belt, plus almost ever. Because he was the world junior heavyweight champion from June 19th 1939, and he didn't even lose. He had it vacated on July 12th of 1950.
Wow.
So he was the champion for 3,886 days. All right. So about like 10-year reign as the belt holder, brother. Okay.
That's crazy.
Beat that, Bruno. Beat that, Roman. You can't.
I was about to say, that's not even close to, Roman's not even close to that.
And the reason he kind of like lost the belt, is because he had a automobile accident on February 7th, 1950. So I guess, they probably were seeing if he would recover before stripping him of the belt. Obviously, he couldn't. And that accident actually happened in Little Rock, Arkansas. It says McGuirk was being driven to a restaurant by his wrestling pupil, Robert Bob Clay. In an attempt to prevent a collision, Clay locked the car's brakes, and McGuirk was thrown against the front windshield. All right.
Oh, that's why you wear a seatbelt.
Yeah. McGuirk tended the glass were shattered, and the side of the glass covering his good eye were fractured, blinding McGuirk permanently. This led to another Oklahoma, Danny Hodge, raising to prominence in the junior heavyweight field, and who by 1960 became the principal headliner for McGuirk. All right. So what McGuirk is also known for is after the accident, he became the second vice president of the NWA from September 1950 to August 1956. All right. And from August 1959 to August 1960. So between the 50s and 60s, McGuirk was an honorary vice president. One of McGuirk's challenges as vice president was to recoil the promotional war that was occurring between women's wrestling promoter Billy Wolf and his ex-wife Mildred Burke, which they made a movie about.
Yes, they did. I haven't seen it yet, though.
Yes. So McGuirk aligned himself with Burke and helped to resolve the dispute at the September 1953 NWA meeting in Chicago. All right. And McGuirk was actually the main booker for the junior heavyweight championship during his run. Okay. And the run that he would, the areas he would take care of mostly are Little Rock, Oklahoma, and then parts of Texas. All right. He also took, he also trained wrestling promoters as well. All right. So apparently he would also promote, help promote events and everything like that too. He promoted a couple of NWA champions around Texas. And also too, he is also known to be the the mentor of one Bill Watts.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
So he trained Bill Watts how to book, I guess, to be a promoter. Yeah.
Yeah, being a promoter, how to book a bunch of stuff. So he actually trained a lot of people, right? Because they also worked for him. So McGuirk had many people who worked for him as matchmaker. He had Leo Voss. He had Sam Mushnick, Rip Tyler, Wayne Martin, George Scott, and of all these people, Cowboy Bill Watts played a big part in McGuirk's promotion, both positively and negatively. That's what it says here. So his first real connection to McGuirk, Bill Watts' first connection to McGuirk was in 1968 when McGuirk submitted the only vote in favor of passing the NWA championship to him. McGuirk and Watts worked together to promote Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Louisiana in 1970. And on July 1978, their joint promotion of a wrestling show at the Louisiana Superdome drew an estimate of 31,000 fans and a gate of almost 500,000. So
not bad.
Yeah. So basically, it was a lot of being under his shadow and stuff. Leroy McGuirk really helped Bill Watts, which obviously, when we talk about 80s wrestling, Mid-South wrestling is one of the highest, territories to have new and young stars come out of it. All right. Which obviously Mid-South would later turn into the USWA, which would later be bought up by Ted Turner and WCW.
Right.
So it says a dispute between the two, McGuirk and Bill Watts, happened in about 1980. So right about when it happens to the 80s. And it strained their friendship. While Watts incorporated Mid-South Sports Inc. and had agreements with Jim Barnett, Eddie Graham, Fritz Von Erich, and Vince J. McMahon. that made the promotion strive, McGuirk became desperate and hoped that George Scott would help him keep the territory afloat, which it didn't. Right. So on February 23rd, 1981, Watts filed documents to bring Mid-South to Tulsa. Matters worsened as 7 wrestlers went on strike on August 21st. Their grievance was that McGuirk had not paid them for their previous week's work. Despite turning to Amaretto for wrestling talent, McGuirk saw the writing on the wall. So in 1982, McGuirk ceased operations and left the city open for Bill Watts and Mid-South Wrestling to take over. All right. So McGuirk had a daughter, Michelle Kathleen, better known in wrestling as Mike McGuirk, and she married a guy that we talk about here and there on the Retro Blood, B. Brian Blair.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right. So they eventually also too, B. Brian Blair and his partner also too, they wrestled in the WWE as Killer Bees. All right. So, but yeah, I mean, so pretty much, so McGuirk was basically introduced to the Hall of Fame, the Oklahoma Hall of Fame in 1977. And he's pretty much known to be like one of like the leaders, all right, for like that's like that area of promoting pro wrestling for the NWA. Like he was one of the higher promoters, you know what I mean? And it's based, like I said, what the 80s is known for him is basically getting Bill Watts his start for promoting wrestling and basically, you know, teaching him the ropes to do that. And then, of course, you know, obviously they would have a little bit of falling out. And it basically, Leroy became one of those promoters that, you know, especially when Vince McMahon was doing like his expanding. I mean, it was pretty much done. And it looks like he was done a little bit before then. But, you know, basically Watts was the one who kind of like took over his territory. But he's known as, you know, as if you talk to the old timers, brother, he's known to be a very, you know, very old school promoter and wrestling booker, but also was, and it still has a record, has the longest champion in history with 10 years.
Yeah. So he was champion longer than anyone else has been champion of any kind, right?
Yeah, I mean, that I could think of, unless somebody's beaten 10 years. I don't, because I think Bruno got about 8, maybe. What was it? 8
I was going to say 7 or 8 is what I thought. 8, yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, Roman had 3. Hulk. I mean, it depends if you combine all. See, the problem is a lot of those reigns, they'll combine different reigns all together. But it sounds like Leroy McGuirk had a 10-year reign with no
breaks. He never lost the title at all.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, back in the day, especially those days, it's not like he was working every Monday. You know what I mean?
Well, that's true. He wasn't working, but he was probably working several times a week.
Yeah,
I bet. You know, I mean, he was probably working 2 or 3 times a week at least. Yeah. But you know, that means he didn't lose a match other than maybe through disqualification for 10 years.
Yes, but you got to remember, back in the day, it's not like we had records of these guys. True. Because if you remember the whole Ric Flair thing, you know what I mean?
Right.
They count him as like, what, a 17-time champion or something like that, 16-time? But he's actually, remember he like lost and won it a bunch of times, but they didn't really count those. Because back in the day, if you would go, let's say McGuirk was going to, I don't know, the Cotton Bowl or whatever, you know what I mean? And he would lose the belt, but then he would just regain it the next day. But they would not count that because it was, you know, it was either not written about, it wasn't televised. It was just something for the audience. You know what I mean?
Right. So they didn't count it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it could have been like that for some of his matches. But so far what I read, it was a undisturbed, complete 10-year title reign. So pretty impressive.
That is pretty impressive.
He's like the Klaus Kinski of wrestling. Except blind.
In some way, yes.
There you go, brother.
In some ways, that's true.
So what do you got for us for the music, Alice? What are we listening to on our way to see some Italian art pieces?
So I don't want to make this too long because I could talk about this a long time. But this is a band we haven't talked about before, I don't think. Yeah. If we have, I can't remember. But I want to talk about the band Suicidal Tendencies. So on September the 13th, which is, like 4 days after this movie came out or premiered in Venice, they released their classic album, How Will I Laugh Tomorrow When I Can't Even Smile Today. And one of the reasons I want to talk about this is because it was kind of a watershed moment for them. Like Suicidal Tendencies, if you're not familiar, if people aren't familiar, they were like a punk rock band. Like, they were like a early 80s LA scene, Black Flag, Circle Jerks. They were all in that scene playing punk rock together. And then the next album, they kind of took a break for like 3 or 4 years and kind of got back together with a different lineup. Mike Muir is still in the band. Of course, he's been in every lineup, the singer, but he did something that was more metal sounding, but it was still punk. It was a little bit different. And when they did their second album, this is their third album that came out in 1988. So the way this came about, Mike Muir had met this guy named Mike Clark, and they had a side project together. That was a thrash metal side project called No Mercy. And No Mercy put out this really good album. I think they only put out one, but their album is called Widespread Bloodshed Love Runs Red, it's a really, really good album. It was re-released. Mike Muir re-released it on his his own label. But they had a project together that was like thrash metal. And Mike Muir wanted to bring that into Suicidal Tendencies. So he got Mike Clark to join Suicidal Tendencies. And then they had Rocky George, who was a really, really great lead guitar player at the time, to record this album. A year after this album came out is when Robert Trujillo would join the band, who is now in Metallica. But he would kind of get big in Suicidal Tendencies, but he's not on this album. He hadn't joined the band yet. But this is more of like what I've talked about before, like a crossover album. So it's not straight metal, but it's not really punk either. It's kind of like a mix between the two. It's like real punky sounding heavy metal, kind of with guitar solos and stuff like that. This is the first album they ever did that I had heard. And this is kind of like what gave them this is what made them big, I guess. This is like their major label debut, and this is like what made people know who Suicidal Tendencies was. Then they would go on to do a couple more albums before they kind of faded away. But actually, not on this tour, but the next tour they did, I actually met them. They were opening for Queensryche, and they hosted like this free like pizza party signing thing. So they signed some stuff. We all ate pizza and just hung out with them, which to me, like now, the coolest thing about that is I got to meet Robert Trujillo. Yeah. Back when he was in Suicidal Tendencies. But I don't know, did you get a chance to listen to any of this, or have you listened to Suicidal Tendencies much before?
I've heard it before. I know they're kind of like that, like California thrash, kind of like punk stuff. Kind
of, yeah. I would say so, yeah. It's hard to describe their sound.
Yeah. It's very like that punky style sound, very, I don't know, like the very skater, punkish.
Yeah, that's a good style. Skater is a good term to use. I don't know if people would understand that anymore, but that's a good term to use.
Yeah, like I would never was the biggest fan of them, but I did respect some of their stuff. But I know they're a pretty popular band. Are they still going today? Or?
Yeah, they are. I just saw them back in the summer opening for Metallica.
There you go. Yeah.
So they're still touring, and it was them and Pantera opening from Metallica. So they're still touring, and he's still going in his 60s, almost 70 probably now. It's like, all those guys are getting up there, man.
I know. It's crazy, man. Do you think that Van Helsing guy, do you think he was out there searching the vast land for Suicidal Tendencies' newest album?
Oh, I could see that he was probably listening to this album on repeat constantly.
Yeah.
On his Sony Walkman.
Yeah. Talk about staring. He did a lot of staring in this movie.
He did.
How useless was this guy?
I know.
They totally jobbed him out, bro. That was pretty bad.
They did job that guy out for sure.
We'll talk to him too, because he's actually a pretty big actor. But yeah, like we'll play a little Suicide Tendencies after this one. But like I said, the band to me, like they're not exactly my style, but I do know that a lot of like those like thrasher punkers, skaters, that the very like 90s skater dudes or whatever. I mean, that's like their band. right there.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
they're very popular.
Yeah.
Amongst those kind of people, like you said, they're not my favorite band of all time either.
Yeah.
But I do like some of their music, and they're really good live band. But yeah, I just want to talk about Suicidal Tendencies for a minute, and then we can go on and talk about the rest of this thing.
We can talk about Klaus in his nice outfit
and his hard to work with ass on this movie as well.
How can he be hard to work? I mean, the guy, all he did was like walk around.
Apparently, he complains a lot,
and he grabbed
he grabbed. Yeah, he right.
What more do you need, Klaus?
But didn't we talk about another movie that he was in that he was really hard to work with too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, should have looked at my notes. But yeah, we talked about him a couple months back. I'll grab it on here too. Yeah. I guess that's like his thing. He just like has like, maybe he's like a Hogan or whatever. You know what I mean?
No, I think it's exactly what it is. I think that he's just,
like, no, he wants for me, brother.
Yeah, he just wants everything to be the way he wants it to be.
Yeah, it's like that don't work for me, brother. All right. Yeah, because I think obviously he was like, well, let's get right into it. This is some of the who booked this shit. Klaus basically like he's kind of known to be a very earlier on actor. It's like in the 80s, that's kind of like when his career was like not as popular as it was. But yeah, we talked when we talked about him, it was for Creature.
Yes.
1985. All right, maybe he was Hans Rudy Horford. All right.
Yes.
And that was like more of a sci-fi thing. But this one right here is known for Vampire in Venice. It's one title. It's also known as Prince of the Night.
Yeah, that's not as good of a title.
And Nosferatu in Venice, which I believe is the Italian name. Because, they could copyright shit. Oh, they don't have any copyright shit.
Right, because it's sort of an unofficial sequel to Nosferatu.
Yes.
From 1979.
Yes, it's that one. Made by Hans? What was it made by?
Werner Herzog.
Yeah, Herzog. Sounds like something that would eat.
Sounds like a Pokemon.
It kind of does. All right, so this one was directed by Augusto. Was that name Caminito? Did I say that right?
Yeah, Augusto Caminito. Yeah.
Yeah, Augusto. So he's known for doing some movies in the little late 60s, or late kind of like throughout the 60s and late 60s, early 70s, a little bit in the 80s. All right. Most of the stuff I never really heard that he'd done before. Like his last movie in the 80s, well, before he did this one, was I Know That You Know That I Know. Fuck yeah. That sounds Italian.
It is definitely Italian.
So I thought like scenery and directing wise, it was fine. It just like the whole pace of the movie was kind of not really my thing, but it kind of looked like there was like he got these actors. Is like, let's go take a vacation, and then he filmed them.
Well, kind of, yeah. So we'll talk about that, about why it's the way it is. When we talk about who booked this shit.
Yeah.
But it was a very hard movie to make. And yeah.
So after securing Kinski for the lead of Nosferatu, producer Augusto planned a sequel to, Nosferatu the Vampyre. All right.
Yeah.
So Augusto originally secured Marzarito, I can't even say his name. Loduci has it directed, but later felt that the film would be better with a more well-known director and a higher budget, leading Loduci to be dropped as director in favor of Pasquella. So made several changes to the script, which did not appeal to Camito Augusto. All right, which led him playing. So basically, Augusto was going to have two other people direct the film. Okay, but this Pascal didn't like the changes that he made in the script, so he basically terminated from his contract. Okay.
Right.
Which also led to further budget cuts of the film and hiring Mario on as the director. After clashing with Kinski on set, there you go, Mario left the film, leading Augusto to direct the film himself. So he went through 3 directors. All right. One of them, basically, he didn't think he was a good fit. One of them wanted to make some changes. He's like, that don't work for me, brother. And one of them couldn't get along with Klaus.
Of course not.
All right. So during filming, Klaus would not follow rehearsals.
Shocking.
Imagine him and Christopher Walken together on a film.
That would be fantastic.
I don't think my eyes can comprehend them two on screen together.
With both of them improvising all the lines at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah. I had Klaus just walking around and then Christopher Walken following him. Saying shit. And they both wear that pilgrim gear, so there you go.
Exactly.
So Klaus wouldn't follow rehearsals and demand changes in the actors appearing in the film, and often had lighting changed dramatically on set. Oh yeah, what lighting? The one for his.
I was about to say there's hardly any lighting in this entire movie, but maybe that's what he means. Maybe he just had all the lighting removed.
So according to second unit director Luigi, Klaus' behavior on set became so erratic that the entire crew left the set and did not return until Klaus apologized for his behavior. Fantastic, brother. Put a little stop to his tyranny. I can see him being a little hard to work with, this guy.
Oh, yeah, no shit.
He's like, well, you brought me this titty. I should have got 3 titties. All right, so it says after 6 weeks of filming, Augusto came to the conclusion that he did not have the entire film completed, but that he also could not continue with the project. This led to entire sections for the rewritten screenplay by Augusto not being shot, and Augusto making do with what he had. The film premiered, like we said, at the Venice Film Festival on September 9th, 1988. It was later released theatrically in Italy.
Yeah, I mean, I think considering that he didn't even shoot an entire movie and he just had to make a movie out of whatever footage he had, I think he did pretty good, which is probably why they have all those scenes of Klaus Kinski walking around Venice for no reason.
Yeah. Well, he's just exploring the place.
He's just exploring while he's waiting to kill people. Yeah. Like a tourist.
I thought this part was pretty interesting. So it said in mid-1980s, producer Augustine began producing horror and thriller films in Italy for foreign markets, such as Lucio Fulci's Murder Rock.
Murder Rock, yeah, which we're going to do on the show eventually.
Yeah. So, basically with this, like we said before, he got this script, all right? He got... So basically, he was introduced. Augusto was introduced to the Nosferatu in Venice script by Carlos Alfredo, who had written the screenplay and original story with Leonardo Luigi. All right, and the script was basically supposed to be a sequel to the Nosferatu film from the 1970s, like we're saying. Okay,
right.
So the film basically what it was like, it got greenlit because they were allowed to have Klaus Kinski on this film. All right. And they signed him on for a 2-picture deal. Not only did he do Nosferatu in Venice, but he also did Panigi.
Yeah, which we might also end up doing on this show too. I've wanted to do that movie for a while.
He's a violinist guy, right?
Yeah.
So,
but it's a horror movie though.
Oh, there you go. So it says a little bit. The film began on August 25th. Kinski refused to shave his head and wear
like he did in the first one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he didn't want to shave his head and refused to wear fake fans. Fangs, not fans.
Fangs, yeah.
Right. For the role. He said after arguing with Cedeno on the first day of filming, Cedeno stated later that Kinski would not listen to him when he called cut and found him the next day locked in his trailer with Augusto.
Right.
Sinido learned that Augusto had promised Kinski that he would direct the film. Oh, yes. I did hear about that. So, like, this guy also, like, said, like, hey, Kinski, you could film the role. And that's when he got, like, the idea to film himself walking around.
Yes.
So it said, I wonder if he filmed all of his, his sex scenes. He probably did that one too, brother. All right, so let's see. According to Augustos, Signito ran into Kinski's trailer and told him, now you're directing the movie. And he left. All right. So Augusto felt determined to finish the film and took on directing the film himself with Cosio, who helped him, Luigi, helped him direct scenes as a second unit. According to Kazi, Kinski would ignore the staging they did in rehearsal, which led to director of photography Antonio having to reset his lighting setup and scratch as Kinski would not follow cues and would refuse to do reshoots. All right. Man. So Kinski had Augusto fire Amanda Cedril when Vogus girlfriend Anna Snetch visited the set. Kinski demanded Augusto to hire her as the female lead. This led to the script being changed so that Maria was now Hetzny's adopted daughter.
Yes, so that's crazy, right? So like this woman just visited the set because she was dating somebody that worked on it.
Yeah.
And then Kinski just demanded that she be hired as the lead in the lead role.
This bruiser out of here, brother. Let me get this girl. I want to grab her tits.
Exactly. I mean, that's what he's thinking. That had to have been what he was thinking.
Yeah, because I think the one he was talking about was the girl at the end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So Kinski demanded to direct some scenes himself.
Yeah, shocking.
Which included scenes from, like I just guessed this. Like I didn't read this part, but you're right. Like the scenes that he was directing were just him walking around Venice at dawn.
Yeah.
So like, was this what was going on with his vampire character? Like I thought Nosferatu like got hurt by the sun.
Well, yeah, but we want to film. Kinski wants to film himself walking around in the sunlight in Venice.
Scrap that part, brother.
So it's like he's on vacation. It's Dracula on vacation. This movie could have just been called Nosferatu on Vacation.
Exactly. Maybe he was just taking some sunscreen.
Exactly.
So Cozy stated later that Kinski ended up with about 10 hours of footage, which consists of Kinski walking around, like you said. The boom man on set, all right, stated that during a scene where Nosferatu was turned Elvira Audrey's character Utta into a vampire, which was supposed to be Kinski pretending to lean over and bite her neck, led to Klaus inserting his fingers into the woman's vagina, which had her run from the set in tears. So there you go, brother.
Yes, that was not uncommon for him.
Yeah, I like how they kept that in the scene too. So Kazi stated that Kinski went as far as slamming her to the floor and physically and sexually assaulting her by biting her vagina.
Wow.
Oh, they must have cut that part out, brother.
I guess they cut that part out, but it's pretty insane that this was allowed to happen, right? I mean, it is 1988, but still, this is crazy.
That's pretty crazy, man. So Barbara Di Rosa also stated in the documentary. There's a documentary about this film.
Apparently, there's a documentary about it.
Where the fuck is this at? I could not find anything about this film. I searched the globe for shit on.
Yeah, it was hard to find information about it. I wonder if it's on I think Severin or somebody put it out on Blu-ray, and I'm wondering if maybe the documentary is on that, possibly. So
she stated, well, I guess there was a documentary about Klaus himself, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Stated in Italy that she was assaulted one day. He never respected the script, and he was always physically when he had something to do with women.
Yeah.
Right? During filming, he grabbed my breast and he hurt me. Well, we got that on film. That's for sure.
We definitely got that on film.
This guy was fucking squeezing them titties, bro. I was like, God damn, these Italians, man. This guy's going to town. So it was a mess. We were really scared. We never knew what could have come out of any scene. According to Kazi, at one point, the entire crew abandoned the set in protest of Klaus, who later apologized for his behavior. After 6 weeks of shooting in Venice, Augusto only had filmed about half the script set in Venice and had an entire third of the script to film elsewhere. So he said Augusto could not film any further in an attempt to compile the film for what footage he had shot. So that's why the movie is kind of like a little sporadic in a way. You know what I mean?
Exactly. He just had to put it together, edit the movie together with what he had.
Yeah.
Essentially.
So it seems like, they got their star, I guess, even though I think Donald Pleasant's a bigger star than he is, but that's just me.
Certainly to us.
Yes, to us he is. Okay. I did want to talk about, though, we did have Christopher Plummer. All right. He played the Professor Chris, who is basically like the Van Helsing character, I guess, in a way. But Christopher Plummer, man, he's also known to be a very, he won Academy Awards, Tony Awards. Like he's known for a lot of like films in the 50s up to like the 2000s.
Yeah, he's a very, very famous actor.
Yeah.
That's like strange that he was in this.
Yeah, like he was in he was in a Star Trek movie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like he did Somewhere in Time, A Beautiful Mind, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So he's been in a bunch of big movies for sure.
Yeah. So I remember him. I remember seeing him, but I can't like. I mean, I seen the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, but obviously he was a lot older when he made that film. But he did look pretty. He did look pretty recognizable.
I mean, film. You've definitely. I can't think of anything you would have seen, but you've definitely seen him. Like he's definitely. I mean, he's he won an Academy Award. I mean, not for this movie, but he did win one.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, basically, I mean, like this is during the time period, like we were saying earlier, that the Italians were just making all kinds of sequels to everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So. And obviously, Nosferatu with Dracula, obviously one of the best stories ever written and told.
Yes.
And, that was probably, it was a good idea to have a pretty good, idea to make a sequel to Nosferatu, which was a really heavy film.
Yes.
Even though, like, Nosferatu was, wouldn't that take place in Germany?
Well, yeah. So the original version did.
Yeah.
But they this is centuries later though. Like this is a long time, like hundreds of years later or a couple hundred years later. And then he's traveling the world now, trying to find a way to because he's on a world tour now. So he's traveling in Italy and he's stopping in Venice to see the sights apparently.
Grab a titty while he's there.
And find his gypsy girl to hang out with.
Yes. So, but yeah, I mean, besides, I mean, it just sounds like this Klaus guy was just a pain on set. And, it happens sometimes when your star person is being an ass and sometimes it just kills production. Yeah, like I said, like this one wasn't like doing it too much for me, but I did like the scenery. I did love Donald Pleasant as the priest, even though he was barely
always.
On there. I think Donald Pleasant would have worked a little better as the actual detective. But
than the priest. I agree. I agree with that. But I mean, I feel like Donald Pleasant's is good in any role that he does. Like he's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he would have been fantastic.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. It was for what it was. I thought it was okay. I love the scenery, and I didn't mind the scenery shots, but it was just kind of funny. Like it was just kind of funny just seeing them hang out. Like it looks like I was watching a movie to see a bunch of people hang out.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much of the movie that has no plot. Like it doesn't forward the plot at all. Yeah. It's just people hanging around and doing different things. And like Dracula is supposed to be like this great evil villain, the greatest villain of all time potentially, and looks like he's just on vacation during most of this movie.
Yeah, and like he doesn't like even like rip people to shreds or nothing like that. You know what I mean?
No,
or doesn't bite them. He just like hypnotizes them for them to jump off and spike themselves.
Yeah, but I thought that part was pretty cool. Like when she jumps off the top of that big building, that was awesome.
So I say let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Let's get into the full breakdown of Vampire / Nosferatu in Venice. Let's all take the vacation together. Let's do it.
Nosferatu, Fürst der Hölle, gib dich uns zu erkennen!
Vampire.
Professor Catalano ist der führende Wissenschaftler auf diesem Gebiet.
Was führt sie nach Venedig? Vampire sind überall.
Mögest du in den Schlund der Hölle stürzen für alle Ewigkeit! Gelehrter! Gelehrter! Du Satan!
Das war Nosferatu, oder?
Ja, er hat unsere Beschwörungen gehört und er wird wieder töten.
Was können wir tun?
Liebe. Nur Liebe kann ihn zerstören. Die Hingabe einer Jungfrau. Im Augenblick der Vereinigung wird er sterben. 1000 Jahre hat er sich nach dem Tod gesehnt. Liebe zwingt das Böse in die Knie, die Hingabe einer Jungfrau.
All right, so we start off with some, bro. I don't know, like the audio in this. They must have fired that guy, brother. Klaus is like, "Hey, audio guy, get the hell off my set, brother. We don't need that.
we don't need that.
Yeah, I got a Walkman to do the audio in this shit. I cannot. Golly, and then they had the English translation. That's it, talk too. So what I got out of the beginning scene is there was a family who goes hunting bats together. You ever do that, Alison, out there in the country?
So, no, I don't. They're not hunting. They're not hunting bats. They kill a bat, or they're about to kill a bat, and then he tells them not to kill the bat because it's bad luck. But they're hunting like geese or not geese, like
duck maybe,
like ducks or some kind of fowl. And then he's gonna shoot a bat, which is kind of sorry.
All right, start over with he's going to shoot a bat.
So he's going to shoot a bat. And then she says that shooting a bat is bad luck.
Yeah, but then they say, oh, it's a vampire, so it's okay.
That was just, I don't understand that at all. Like he says that he clearly says that he's like, it's a vampire. And I'm like, it's just a bat. I don't know. Like, and then we never go back to this at all.
No, we go back at the end.
Well, at the very end, but that still has nothing to do with the main story. Because I thought that maybe what I thought was going to happen was that and maybe this did happen and I just missed it or it's not clear. But like I thought that what was going to happen was that she tells him not to shoot the bat because it's bad luck, and then he says, but it's a vampire, and then that bat was gonna become Dracula in our story, but that doesn't happen, or if it does, it's not made clear. So that was really weird. Like I don't understand the beginning of this at all, and the rest of the movie has nothing to do with it except for the very, very end, which has nothing to do with the ending either.
Well, that's the non-Klaus complaining scenes. You got that.
Right. Exactly.
All right. So other than that, then we get the British professor Paris. All right. Yep. And he's traveling by boat. And boy, is that how they do it in Venice there, Alison? You just on the boat standing up the whole time? Like you don't sit down? Get that wind in your face?
I think you can sit down, but it looks more impressive when you're standing up, though.
That's a great thing. Exactly. It looks better.
Yeah, it looks better when you're standing up.
So he's out there. His whole life is he investigates vampires. Imagine that job.
That would be an awesome job.
How do you
if you're
get
like
that job?
being a vampire hunter?
Do you get a 401k for being a vampire hunter?
Probably. It'd probably be a pretty good one. But the thing is, though, do you get really good health insurance? Because you might need it.
That. Yeah, you might need it. Well, that might be I think you might get a high deductible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
it would definitely be a high deductible. The danger of being a vampire hunter, though, is like inevitably you're going to run into some like, hot goth girl that's a vampire.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like the downfall of either one of us if that happens.
Into a doll and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think they get paid by the church, vampire hunters? I think
by the church. They get paid by the stake.
Yeah, that's right. So he's investigating the whereabouts of Nosferatu. All right, who apparently the last
on vacation.
Known appearance. Well, yes, he's on vacation, of course. But his last known appearance was during the Carnival of 1786, which was here in Venice.
Yes. Right.
All right. So he was summoned there by a young princess, Helita Canis.
Mm-hmm.
Probably fucked up her name. Helita, who believes that the vampire may be inserted in several tombs in the basement of her estate. Okay, so he goes visit her and stuff, and they're like looking around. They have a little dinner together and stuff, and there's an old lady there. All right, and I guess maybe it was like her or something. Like the old lady maybe had like a daughter that's the daughter that was Nosferatu was going after. So they had a casket, but they were too afraid to open up the casket. All right, because they had to do some ritual to do it. Okay, but it says basically they were saying that they believe the vampire is searching for a way to end his immortal torment and actually be dead. So
yes,
the premise of this, which I've never heard before, but I'm not sure if this is like maybe I didn't read. So the premise of this was Nosferatu, Klaus is Nosferatu, was tormented by being eternal for so long that time, space doesn't mean anything to him. He kind of wants to rest his soul by finding a virgin who actually really loves him.
Apparently, that's how he can die.
Yeah, how he can die. All right, so so he has to find the virgin lover of his, but then people were trying to shoot him instead with holy bullets.
Yeah, that was kind of weird too. Like we'll talk about that when we get there, but I'm pretty sure that no one who worked on this movie knows how guns work.
Yeah, I know. All right, so upon Paris's arrival, all right, Catalino notices that Heleta bears a striking resemblance to Nosferatu's long-lasting love, Letzella. I guess she's in the first movie. All right. So they hold this. This is my favorite part because we have Donald Pleasant there, right? His father, Don Alvis.
Yeah, right.
And like he's there throughout the stuff, just saying church this, church that. I don't know why he hangs out at this house. I guess maybe he just likes to hang out at this house. So they all need to do a seance because basically what happened was Paris, he like finds out like that these people are not like telling him the whole truth. And he notices that there's paintings of this Lezetza everywhere. And apparently the old lady, the old grandma's, granddaughter, whatever, looks like, bears like very like similar features to this Nosferatu's long-lasting girlfriend. All right. So he's gathering all this information saying like she could be like the reincarnation of her. All right. Because remember, we saw that in Dracula, where Dracula would always go after the reincarnation of his long lost lover and stuff, or somebody that looks very like her. He would like, seduce her and everything. So now Prince wants to call upon Nosferatu to basically use her as almost bait. All right. So he can like get him, because remember that's his life goal is looking for this vampire. And the only person that's not down with this is the father, because the church They ban seances.
Yeah, the church does not like seances. That's one thing that we know for sure.
And boy, was he pissed off, brother. He was about, I'm going to shoot you all 6 times pissed off. All right?
Yeah.
It was great. All right. Now, I can't figure out what scene I like better. Maybe you can help me out here, Alison. Was it him yelling at everybody about the seance? Get this out of here. Or was it him like eating the I don't know if it was pie or something. All right. While they're all going over. Yes. So they were going over, like Prince was saying that Nosferatu, or the vampire, was actually in this house decades ago, and he used his vampire magic power to take these priests who were screaming their heads off. Mm-hmm. Did you hear these priests?
Yes.
The sire of Satan, blah, blah, blah. He's like, this guy right here is dedicated. He was screaming his ass off. I was like, brother, get off his lawn.
Yeah, he was definitely really into his role. He was not phoning it in.
Yeah, and like Nosferatu, he, after biting this girl that he seduced, all right, he drops her or whatever, and then he uses his vampire magic powers to like control the priest to go impale themselves. All right.
Yeah.
And the Paris guy is telling this story like it's serious and everything, and you just see fucking Don over there eating a little pie. Church.
It's very he's very calmly eating while they're talking about like Dracula being the spawn of Satan or whatever. Yeah.
All right, so the seance causes Nosferatu to waken from his 200-year sleep. You ever slept that long there, Alison?
No, but it would be nice to sometimes.
And he escapes his tomb. So they go look at the tomb in the basement, but that one doesn't open. So they think the seance didn't work, basically. All right. So now we have a scene of Nosferatu roaming Venice. All right. He's on vacation.
Just wandering around, riding boats.
So the first thing he goes to, and I'm not really sure what this scene was all about, but I guess, I don't know. Maybe you could explain this a little bit to me. So the first thing he's like, he wakes up, right? He's all dressed up to the nines, ready to go. No clothes are all fine. Apparently his clothes don't decay. They just stay on for 200 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't need a shower, nothing. All right. Starts walking around. He makes his way to like a tribe. I guess they're like natives.
No, they're gypsies.
Gypsies.
Yeah, and they travel around in those trailers. So they call it a caravan. So they move around. They live in those trailers and they move from place to place and do different things to make money.
But like he's looking at all of them, and they all have bites on their neck. So the vampire already got them or something?
Okay, this confused me too. Yeah. I was hoping you would understand this better than I did. So at first I thought that he had already bitten all of them.
Yeah.
But I don't think so because he seemed surprised.
Yeah, surprised. Like he didn't know what was going on.
So I don't know. I don't understand this part of the movie at all. And I was hoping you would, but I guess not. I guess it doesn't make any sense. I don't think it makes any sense.
And somehow like the tribe leader knew that he was a vampire and they were trying to sacrifice him a virgin, but he didn't want to take that one. So he left. All right.
Yeah. So what I got out of it was that they were like, now a lot of this probably is just my own like headcanon for this, like a story that I wrote that's not shown in this. Yeah. But what I took out of it was that they were somehow what's the word I'm looking for? Not cultists, but like they were like followers of Dracula. Yeah. I call him Dracula. It's Nosferatu. They were like followers of Nosferatu. And then they were trying to help him like, attain the things they needed, but he's not really trying to do that. He's trying to like die.
Yeah.
So that's why he left, but it doesn't explain who these people are, why any of them were bitten by vampires or anything like that.
No. But that makes sense. Like his like little cult, I guess. Yeah. And they just so happened to be there exactly when he woke up.
Yes.
Maybe they had a tracker on him.
Maybe. Maybe. Right. They have a Dracula app that lets you know when he's about to wake up out of his coffin.
I just put that shit in today. That should be hilarious.
I got a Dracula app.
I got my CGI of Dracula coming at me. I'm all good.
Yeah.
All right. So now we get the scenes of brother. Okay, like I said this earlier, but I'm gonna say to everybody if you're listening right now, we get scenes of Nosferatu being Pablo Escobar and just staring and walking and staring, walking and staring, trying to figure out life, trying to figure out where he is. We get him walking. We get him on a boat for forever, not sitting down like Paris did, just on the boat. We get him walking through birds all by himself.
Yeah. This movie would be about 30 minutes shorter if all these scenes of him walking around Venice were cut out.
So he finally makes it to that old bag's house. All right, the princess girl.
Yeah.
He's there, and I guess maybe he's looking for. Okay, I guess he's looking for his long lost love. I guess, or he knows. Obviously, he's drawn to the house because the seance and all that shit. So he shows up there, right? The princess girl freaks out a little bit. She starts to use a cross on him, but cross don't work for fucking Klaus over here, brother.
Apparently not. Neither does sunlight or any of the traditional things that vampires.
Right. Yeah, sunlight. He can't be killed. Basically, this Nosferatu is immortal everywhere. He is.
Yeah.
He's the. There's nothing you can do to this guy.
He can't even kill himself. Apparently.
Yeah. No. You can't shoot him with water bullets. You can't do nothing.
Water bullets. I can't wait for us to get there.
So she's trying her hardest, saying all this religious stuff. And he basically crushes her hand, and then he makes her impale herself, which you could definitely see there's a dummy that falls.
Yeah, like when she jumps off the thing. So this is the one where she climbs up the stairs, right?
Yeah, and then maybe he grabs her hand, and then he does what he did with the other priests. He mind controls them like a Sith Lord, and he makes her jump off the balcony to spike on the gate spikes that are out there.
I feel like all these scenes were shot perfectly though. I feel like this movie was directed really well.
Yeah.
And when they throw the dummy off, you watch the dummy just long enough before it almost starts to bend and it's obviously not a dummy. Yeah. And they cut it right there, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, they cut her to they kind of prop her up on a fake spike and everything. That part was pretty cool of her dying. So all right, so now we got this is what we do. We're kind of at her funeral now. All right, the princess's funeral, and this is when the Catalan warns Helena that Nosferatu can only be stopped by legitimate love. Okay, and then this is when we're actually now we cut to a carnival celebration. All right. Now, I'm not sure when they filmed this if there's a real carnival going on at the time or whatever in Venice, but it looked like everybody has some pretty cool costumes. So I appreciate it. But it looked like they actually got real carnival costume people actually really doing a real carnival. So yeah. And then this is the scene where we have Nosferatu. He's basically stalking Helena through the carnival, the party house that they're in. All right, and so Helena also has a boyfriend there too, okay? And he's noticing that she's acting a little weird. It's probably because, the vampire power of seduction, is probably doing it. So eventually, this is another thing too. So Nosferatu is stalking Helena, right? And she eventually gets freaked out and she leaves because basically I guess it was her boyfriend or whatever, got stopped by a Spanish dancer. Yeah. A Spanish dancer who was just kind of infatuated with her. So he just stopped looking for his girlfriend and just watching this dancer. So Nosferatu stalking this girl outside. And I'm not sure, I haven't rewatched the 1979 Nosferatu, but Nosferatu is known to have a shadow, right? Yeah. That was a big thing of Nosferatu. Okay. Because I thought the shadow scenes looked really cool, but that's one difference between Dracula and Nosferatu, right? Is the shadow? Or do I got that wrong?
I think so. I mean, I don't know. I can't really remember about Dracula, but I know Nosferatu has a shadow. And the shadow scenes in this movie were done really well. Yeah. Like the scene where you can see the outline of Klaus Kinski huge against the buildings looked fantastic. Cool. That looked awesome against the dock or whatever. That was great.
So he follows her home, and then he awakens her in the bed. He starts seducing her. All right. And this is when he's going to town, brother. I mean, he takes, first of all, I like when she's all like, what's that foreign language that you're talking? I'm like, what? That's that Klaus language, woman. Okay, that's
right. That's Klaus language.
So she basically takes her off and grabs her by the bush, grabs her titties. All right. I guess Heletta's younger sister, Maria, witnesses all this. All right. All this happening, basically. All right. And then the following morning, Helena awakes. All right. And she informs Catalom that Nosferatu had visited her. All right. And then now we get a bunch of scenes of Nosferatu like all pissed off, hitting bird cages for some reason.
I don't understand that either, but yeah.
The only thing I could think of was maybe he thought this Heletta girl was like the one true love that's a virgin or whatever that can melt his soul. But it's not. It didn't work.
It's not.
So maybe he's all pissed off. All right. So now we have Nosferatu attacking Yuta, the wife of Father Albus's peer, Dr. Bernard, and chases her into an abandoned building where he feasts on her blood. All right. So we have Nosferatu later approaches Catalina, Father Albus, and his peers, Dr. Bernard, inside a castle. All right, so this is when we have Nosferatu basically, he kind of follows them into the castle, and this is when Father, Don Pleasant character hides. All right, and then this is when Paris, all right, attempts to use they basically attempt to shoot Nosferatu. Okay, and what they try to shoot him with is. Was this regular bullets at the time, or was this the holy bullets?
No, at first it was regular bullets. Yeah. But the thing is, though, I was a little confused because it's pretty clearly a shotgun that he's using. And that's not really how shotguns work. Shotguns don't have bullets. They have shells that have little metal balls in it. And then the metal balls come out of the shell and then go into a wide angle pattern. None of this makes any sense, but then later on they fill the shotgun shells full of holy water, and I suppose the water just shoots out of the shell, and this is stupid. It doesn't make any sense, but the concept of it is cool, though, that we're going to make these water bullets that are going to hurt Dracula, although they don't work either.
So Catalina, all right?
Yes.
Attempts to shoot him. And then all we see is a edited out green screen effect on his belly, which does. But he just Nosferatu just regenerates himself.
Yes.
Right? So Canella attempts to repel Nosferatu with his holy cross. All right. But not that basically Paris. He tries to do that, but Nosferatu burns his hand.
Yeah, that was really cool.
The cross and taking Helette and leaving the castle.
Yeah, so the crucifix doesn't stop him, and neither does sunlight or any of the other things that Nosferatu is typically wounded by.
And then in the scene that I did not expect, our boy Paris, Paris Catalan, the vampire hunter himself, the man who has crossed ages, has dedicated his life to beat the powerful Nosferatu vampire. The man who is making a 401k to living by finding these vampires. After one encounter with the vampire, what does he do? Does he do a montage of being a badass Van Helsing vampire and getting Morningstar like one of those cool people of Castlevania? Huh? Does he go into immense training of how to do alchemy and stop vampires from destroying the earth? No. He packs up his bag and he leaves.
And that's it.
He fucking quit.
He just quits. I'm just done with this. I've had enough vampire hunting. I am cashing in my 401k and I'm going to retire somewhere else to the country.
What the fuck, man?
No more vampire hunting for me.
Why was he here? Why?
For plot reasons. I don't know. There was barely any plot in this, so I don't really think that was why.
So Paris packs up his bags and he leaves.
Yeah.
And he says only a pure woman willing to give Nosferatu true love can beat him. So I'm out of here, brother.
Yeah.
All right.
So fuck it.
So he like packs his bags, right? And then he walks on a bridge and then there's smoke happens and then he disappears and his bag's in the water.
I know. I don't understand any of that, but it is what happened.
So there he goes. All right. And apparently it says in my notes he was dying of an unsuspected illness. And then apparently they also suggest that he might have died by suicide jumping off the bridge. I didn't see any of that. I didn't see any of that. Just the smoke and his bag was there.
This part makes me think that these are scenes that weren't shot.
Yeah.
Like there should have been more to this part. And then this is the best that they could do.
So now Maria's back. She's the tan one, by the way. There's like a lighter.
She's the gypsy. Yeah.
She is seeking to fight Nosferatu so she can save her sister's soul. Because remember, Nosferatu kidnapped the first girl. So she climbs to a tower and jumps to her death in an attempt to catch Nosferatu's attention.
Yes. Well, I guess that would do it.
Yeah, and Nosferatu actually saves her, Maria, from the fall and abducts her.
That was kind of cool where he's like flying and it shows like a not a great special effect, but it is a special effect of him flying and you can see through him. Like that was kind of cool. Yeah.
So she already did more than every dude in this movie. She did more than Paris, she did more than the father, and she did more than the boyfriend. All right. So now she's taking her to his abandoned village. Nosferatu explains to Maria that he wishes to die, but to do so, I need a virgin, a woman who has to give herself to me and love me unrepentantly. Which Maria, she accepts it. And I'll do it. All right, brother. You have nice looking hair.
Yeah, but she wants him to make her a vampire, though. She wants to live forever. Yeah. Or she wants him to make her immortal, is what she says, I think. Yeah.
So now Berneval, what's the boyfriend's name?
Yeah.
That was the guy who was all like obsessed with the fucking dancer and he left his girlfriend. He's looking for his wife, all right, which is Melita. He travels to Villa with two friends. In the basement, they find what appears to be Nosferatu's sleeping coffin. All right. So they get there, right? So he travels with his buddies. All right. But like we don't even see him like almost like past the when he shoots him in the guts and everything, doesn't do anything. All right.
Right.
So they go to this. I don't even know where they even knew where to go, but they knew where to go. And we see 3 coffins. So he opens up the coffins. One is the Spanish dancer that he saw from the party. She was randomly there. The next one was was the sister.
Yeah.
All right, Maria. And then the last one was actually Nosferatu. Okay.
Yes. Right.
So then they're like, okay, let's do something. They give me a steak. We'll kill him. So then they do the steak. They stake it. All right, but then it turns out to be actually the wife, right? Wasn't it the wife?
Yes, it was Uda. It was Uda. Yeah. So her sleeping form or whatever had shape shifted into Nosferatu, made her look like him.
Yes.
So they actually kill her. Yes, or they stake her
because the real Nosferatu was up there looking like she was sexually abusing Maria.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why they filmed this.
He was upstairs because probably Kinski made them, but he was upstairs like fucking Maria for the whole time this was happening.
Yeah. So the Berneval goes up there with his shotgun of was this the holy water?
I think this is the holy water scene. Yeah.
So they took shotgun shells and they put holy water in them.
Well, we assume so. I assume so, but they don't actually ever say that. Yeah. But he's filling it full of some kind of liquid and then putting them in the shotgun. Yeah.
I mean, who does he think he is? Trevor Belmont? What is he doing here?
Maybe. I thought he looked like Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
So he he tries to shoot Nosferatu ineffectively. But the shots go through Nosferatu's back and then injuring Maria.
Yes.
All right. So Nosferatu's not pissed off, so he kills the friends. All right. And then while fleeing the villa, Bernal is lured into a garden by Helena. And posing as a letdown, Nosferatu seduces him before revealing that he had shapeshifted into her and killing Berneva while showing his true form.
Yeah. So he was like, and then like he was kissing him as his wife, but it was actually Nosferatu.
Yes. Killing him. Yes. So now Nosferatu takes the dead, nude body of Maria, bush and all.
Yep.
All right. In his arms. And then he goes again and he takes a little trip down Venice and starts walking around with her dead body.
Just around in the streets.
Yes. Maria asks Nosferatu to turn her into a vampire. He refuses, turning heel on her.
Yep.
Saying that doing so would basically be a punish or an eternal punish. And the same, and then, basically he didn't want to punish her like he's been punished for centuries.
Right, because he wants to die. He wants to end his eternal torment or whatever.
And then they end up holding each other. Nosferatu keeps walking, and they eventually disappear in the morning mist, leaving both of their fates a mystery.
Yeah, because that's all the movie we had. We didn't shoot anything else.
And then
there's a lot of mystery in this.
We get like the exact same scene as the beginning with these guys shooting ducks and vampires, and then it was it. And then I was left so confused. I was like, who was who? What? Okay. We have Klaus being pissed off and wanting to. The only thing I got out of this movie was Donald Pleasant just acting like the craziest priest you would find. All right. You had this Paris dude being like jobbed out like I'd never seen anybody before. Like, what Van Helsing character has been jobbed out bad as him? Nobody in the history of the earth.
Yeah, never.
I mean, what a fucking loser. All right. Klaus being like this rock star 80s British fucking vampire dude who just like looks at people and they fall into spikes, and then he grabs girls' tits like very intensely.
Yeah.
And then we get scenery shots, and then we get people hanging out. That's what this whole movie was about.
Yeah. Like you can really tell that they just didn't shoot an entire movie.
Yeah.
Like they just didn't have any. They just did the best they could was what they had.
I mean, I see a little bit of charm in it, but it wasn't my full thing, but it was something. Let's just say that it was something.
It was something.
So, but everybody, that has been Vampire in Venice, Nosferatu in Venice. Very interesting Italian movie. Y'all can find it on Tubi. If y'all want to watch it. Hope you all watched it before you listen to us. But if you haven't, go give it a shot. It's see what you can make out of it yourself. But the Retro Blood is not done yet. With
never
Vampire Month Part 3. We are getting out of the 80s. We are going into the realm of 1994. And we are talking about one of the most famous vampire stories and vampire movies of all time. We are talking about Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah, this is a classic.
We have a young Keanu Reeves before he blew up in the Matrix, acting like a wild man. All right.
Yeah. This has got a good cast.
Oh, yeah, really good cast. So, and we'll talk all about it next week here on the Retro Blood. But, Alison, to get on out of here with this post-Valentine's Day episode of Klausy Love on here, what Suicidal Tendencies will we be playing here?
Let's go with it. For our podcast listeners, let's go with a deep cut. Let's play Sorry.
Oh, yeah, Sorry. There's a lot of sorry shit going on here, brother.
There was a lot of sorry shit going on here.
We have Klaus saying sorry to the whole cast for being an asshole. We have Augusto saying sorry for making this mess.
Sorry I got into this.
We have Donald Pleasant, who doesn't say anything about the film. Maybe he forgot he filmed it. This was when he was filming, or when like a month before this movie came out, or no. Like a month right after this movie came out was Halloween 4. So, he didn't give a shit about this film. Yeah, there's a lot of sorry stuff going on in this film.
A lot of sorry stuff going on.
A lot of sad and sorry stuff. You know, I mean, maybe Nosferatu, maybe he found some other girl that loved him and he just poofed into the magic air. Who knows?
Maybe so.
But everybody, thanks for joining us. J.H. Alison, James Kline. We'll see you next week on the Retro Blood.
Yeah. See you guys.